Now, we have a number of options when it comes to installing Tails. The easiest is to install it as a virtual machine. With this option, you're gonna first of all install a virtualization software such as VirtualBox or VMware inside your current operating system, whether it's Linux, Windows, or OS X. And then you'll install Tails as a virtual machine using this virtualization software. So you won't have to restart, you won't have to reboot in order to start Tails. You'll be able to start it within your operating system, within Windows or Linux or OS X, and you won't need a USB stick or a DVD to start it. The problems with this is Tails will lose most of its benefits when it's installed like this. Because like I said, Tails is designed to be a live operating system. One of the main advantages of it is the fact that it's amnesic, so when you use it on a computer and turn off that computer, it leaves no traces. So even if that computer is inspected, they won't even know that this computer was used to run Tails. When Tails is installed as a virtual machine, it's going to share the resources with your host operating system, with Windows, Linux, or OS X. This means that it will leave traces of it being used. You also won't be able to have a USB stick that you can use on any computer. You'll only be able to use Tails within that computer that you installed the virtual machine on. And because Tails is installed on Windows, Linux, or OS X, like we said before, these operating systems collect data about you. Not only that, they also have a number of programs that collect data about you. All of these programs access the internet directly, not through the Tor network. And all of these programs and operating systems could be vulnerable to code execution or buffer overflows, which can be used to hack into your computer and again from there de-anonymize you. Therefore, installing Tails as a virtual machine is not great because it will basically lose a lot of its advantages and a lot of its great features. The second option, which is better, is to install Tails on a DVD and then use that DVD to boot Tails. So you can use that DVD on any computer regardless of what operating system it runs. All you have to do is just put the DVD in, restart the computer, boot from the DVD, and then you'll be able to use Tails. Now with this, Tails will come with all of its great features. So it'll be live, it'll leave no traces, and it'll be running natively, so it won't be sharing resources. Therefore, you won't really need to worry about leaks or about other programs collecting data or any of the other stuff that we have to take in consideration when we're running the Tor browser or when we're running Tails as a virtual machine. The only disadvantage to this method is the size of the DVD. It's a little bit big, and the installation of Tails will not be persistent. What I mean by that is, if you store any files while you're using Tails, you will lose them once you turn off the computer or restart it. The third option, which is the best in my opinion, is using a USB stick. So this comes with all of the benefits of the DVD. We're going to install Tails on a USB stick, and then all you'll have to do is connect that USB stick to any computer, regardless of what operating system it runs. Restart that computer and you'll be able to boot into Tails. Tails will run in its live mode. Again, it won't use any resources. If you turn off that computer, there will be no traces on that computer. And we can also configure this installation to be persistent. This means that we can actually use part of the USB storage as storage for Tails. So you can actually save files within your current installation, within the USB stick, and when you turn off the computer, there'll still be no traces. But even if you go and connect this USB stick to a completely new computer, you will still have your files, you'll be able to boot Tails again and use it normally, and that way you'll have an operating system installed on a really small storage device that you can boot on any computer in the world, regardless of what operating system it runs. And you'll be able to store files, and once you turn off that operating system, once you turn off that computer, there will be no traces on the computer. So even if it gets inspected, there will be no traces of it even running Tails. So you probably guessed by now, installing Tails on a USB stick is the best option. And in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to do that.